Hey everyone, welcome to this week's show. This is the third time we've been to Trout Lake, the third show for Trout Lake. So we'll just take a little tour here. It's pretty cool. We did a lot of hiking there, and we've seen some really cool crystals and some mines. This is a mine that we're looking at just over top of the Silvercup Ridge there that we hiked into. Really cool having the drone because we're able to kind of scope out the mines and where they are, make a little plan. It's pretty tough to get anywhere up there. Had to do a lot of hiking up there. And this mine had, I don't know, about 4 or 5 adits, but they're all plugged except this one that we got into. So we saw it from a long ways away on another ridge and then had to hike over to it. It's pretty tough hiking over to it. So there you can just kind of see in the middle of the screen there, that's where the adit is. It was all flooded, but we were able to get into it, and we put a bat monitor in there. And this is another mine that we didn't get a chance to go over into, but look at the really cool tram wheel that there is and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we're going to get to this one probably in the springtime when we go pick up the other bat monitor. And yeah, just beautiful scenery up in that whole area. There's another adit there right by that where that tram line is. And I'm not sure if we'd be able to get into that or not. You can see there's been a lot of water coming out of there, all the staining and stuff in there. So we don't know if that's collapsed or not. So yeah, just beautiful. We're up around 8,000 feet here. And it's beginning of September, so there's only actually a month or so or not much more than that, where there's no snow up there. So it's just the snow's just melted, and we can get around. They're just beautiful up there in the Alpine. You can get around there with side-by-side pretty good there, and did a lot of hiking up in there. And ran into a bear up there, so I got some shots of him. Some beautiful lakes up there. You know, you can see the water and stuff there. I don't know if there's any fishing up there. But it's not very far from there, over the ridge to the Triune, that whole area. They have helicopter skiing up there in the wintertime, so that, as you can see, it's pretty nice for skiing. They drop you right up the very top there, and you just ski all the way down, then they take you back and forth with the helicopter. So it's kind of a pretty ritzy thing. They had a fancy chalet there, and the helicopters are kind of a high-end thing. So, but yeah, so we had to hike right across this whole gully. You see all those little ridges. Sometimes you look there, it's not very far to hike somewhere, but you see all these little ridges you had to go up and down. It was pretty tough to get across to this mine, but that's how we had to go to get over into it. But didn't see much wildlife on the very top there. It was really enjoyed the time we spent up there, though. Nice and kind of cool up there. It's not too hot, and just spectacular scenery. Unfortunately, there were some fires in the area, so you didn't have you know, really good visibility, but the drone is just great to fly over these areas. You can zip over them, and then you look back at it, and you can kind of see stuff that you missed or figure out different ways to go. It's kind of like having your own personal helicopter while you're up there. This area has really been sculpted by avalanches. It's all kind of scraped, and you can see where the snow and the avalanches came down there. They get a tremendous amount of snow up there in the wintertime. So the access to the Trout Lake areas is really difficult to get into there now, because the Ministry of Forests is trying to close all the access up into the Alpine, because they're trying to protect the mountain caribou habitat. So most of all the bridges and access has been sealed off. So difficult place to get into. Not maybe the very best place to go explore mines, just because it's difficult to find them up there. But I think a beautiful place to go up there and visit. So really enjoyed it, and we'll be back next spring when we go have to pick up. We dropped monitors in 3 mines, so we'll be back out there this spring. So all right, we'll just play the intro, and I hope you all enjoy this show. Lots of cool stuff there for you to see. Good morning, everyone. So we're joining you from Trout Lake. We're still in Trout Lake. We're right on top of the lake, so that's the lake behind us there. It's a beautiful lake. and just a gorgeous day. So we're on this called the Silvercup Ridge. So yesterday we were at the Silvercup mine,
So this is on the other side on this same ridge. So we don't have any specific intel on any mines in this area, but we're going to look around and we'll show you the countryside, and hopefully we'll find some mines. Way down at the end of the lake there, that's Trout Lake. There's a little city. There's not much there actually. And the lake is, I don't know, about 30 miles long, I think. Maybe 30 kilometers long. And yeah, beautiful mountains in the background. A little smoky today, so we're not going to have the very best view, but yeah, so it's a nice long, beautiful lake. There's very little traffic on this lake, just a gravel road. We're actually camped right beside it. There's not a really good place to look for mines. You know, there's just not that many mines you can get into because everything's getting rehabilitated and the roads are all being closed. And this one too. This is as far as our side-by-side's going to take us, and from here is where the Silvercup Trail starts. So the Silvercup Trail is an old pack horse trail that they used way back in the olden days to haul their ore, probably horses and mules, and did some raw hiding. And it goes way up to the Silvercup. This is a long trail. It goes way up into the Alpine. We're going to follow it up there, show you what's up there. Going a long ways on this trail. It's called the Silvercup Trail. No idea where it goes. And I don't know if we're going to find any mines today, but you know, who cares, eh? It's just a beautiful bay to be out in the high country here, and here's just a beautiful little meadow with a creek in it. And there's a lake I'll show you here. We're going to stop here and fill our canteen up here. A lot of people, they always pack a lot of water, but it weighs a lot. I got so much other stuff, and I never worry about drinking water in the backcountry. I just fill up my water on whatever creek or whatever. There's no beavers up here or nothing. So one thing that's kind of interesting, we're looking at this stream bed, and man, that almost looks like silver. Looks like a kind of an ore to me. Traveling along this old burn here, and people always say how terrible these burns are, but it's just a part of Mother Nature. You know, you always think fires are really devastating, and this is something that the miners did too. You know, years ago they used to light big chunks of forest on fire so they could see the minerals easier. So you know, it's obviously, it seems like a really destructive practice, but you know, it's all part of Mother Nature. You know, sooner or later trees get old, and you know, they need to burn up so the forest can renew itself, and all these shrubs and herbs and all that kind of stuff, bushes, grass, they all grow up, and you know, it's good food for the caribou and the moose, deer, everything else like that, the elk. Yeah, there's been a machine in here. All of a sudden, just come along here and see some pits and stuff they dug there. This looks like more like exploration work in here. Beautiful looking crystals. Look at this. Gorgeous. The back's going to be heavier. Yeah. People are digging in here trying to get crystals out of here, I think. By the looks of it. Oh, some beautiful pieces. All kinds of crystals in here. You dig in here, there's just a hole in here. And you pull this out and there's nothing but crystals in there. The stuff's sharp too. Gotta be a little careful. Quartz is really hard. These crystals are very sharp. You can cut yourself really easy just by digging in here. Yeah, look at these crystals. They're just fantastic. You look in there, you can see them. Wish I had a hammer, you know, you'd bang in there and get some of that stuff out of there, but you can see it. Pretty neat looking. Beautiful looking quartz crystals. I could take. So we came back with a hammer and a chisel, and we found a road into this into the Silvercup Trail here, and we brought our quad in here, and you would not believe the crystals we're finding in here. So you know, just having this just having a couple tools, we're able to get rid of all the overburden around these crystals. And the quartz is really hard, as you can see, but all this overburden is just stuff around it, and it just breaks away. So we're able to expose this this quartz bed, and you just go through here. There's lots of crystals in here. They're everywhere, like hundreds of them everywhere. But we're going to show you this little pocket we found here, and you just reach in there with your hand, and just like there's just hundreds of crystals. Just amazing. Just a huge pocket of hundreds and hundreds of crystals. all different sizes. Yeah, as well, so we got this little road that goes to where those crystals were, and we're really high up now, so we're in this valley and we can see, looking down, we can barely see the lake that's way down there. That's Trout Lake. So well, we've been climbing all day up a pretty steep trail, and we're quite high up in the alpine, so there's logging roads below us. So quite possibly there's an easier way to get here if these roads haven't been deactivated, which it could be. So anyhow, so it's going to be a lot easier for us to walk along here, and we're just going to continue on and see if we can find some mines. Yeah, here's an interesting looking plant. I'm not sure what it's called, but yeah, this is just one of those shots when you're walking along, you look at that and you think, man, isn't that freaking awesome, eh? Just seen a bear with a couple cubs. Luckily it was a black bear. And that seemed to be running away, but we'll see. I don't need that kind of excitement today. Just seen the two cubs running. And way to go! I can't really go around the trail because I need to follow it. So, lots of times they make a little noise, they will kind of wander off. Black bears aren't usually too aggressive. Usually they don't defend their cubs, the grizzlies that you got to worry about. I don't have any bear spray or gun or anything like that, so I don't really have much trouble with bears, other than one time I was bit by one. Yeah, I think they're gone. Uh-oh. What do I hear? Oh, there's a bear there. He's making loud noises. Noises. It's on the other side of that gully though, so we're fine. There he is right there. There he is right there. That was kind of exciting. But no problem. Yeah, I've seen lots and lots of bears in general. They just run away from him. You never know. Yeah, so as much as people like to bitch about dirt bikes and logging and everything else, but now there wouldn't even be a trail here if it wasn't dirt bikes. I mean, it would just be totally overgrown. Look at all this. You know, you think, oh, it's so disgraceful, this is a clear cut. But if you were an animal, look how much vegetation and stuff there is in here to grow. When we're walking through the mature forest, I mean, there's almost no light that hits the ground, it's just brown. And look how much stuff, you got all kinds of flowers and regen and stuff. And, you know, really, it does almost mimic what a fire does. You know, except you don't have the big mess. So, you know, I'd say, you know, it's a pretty nice clear cut. You mean, look at all this stuff and vegetation and stuff in here, and, you know, the trees are going to grow back. So, I don't know, I think it's good. Yeah, we're getting into some pretty nice looking wood right along the edge of this clear cut here. You gotta have some balls to ride a dirt bike along here. I mean, holy crap. You know, it's pretty skinny, right? And, man, just one little misstep. Bad enough hiking along here. And, yeah, you ain't gonna like that. Like, that's steep. You'd ride a dirt bike along there? I don't think so. So, you know what I mean about these guys, they bring the power saws up here and they keep these trails cleaned up, so it makes it really nice for hikers. Hello everyone, just another gorgeous day today, and we're up in the high alpines. So yesterday we hiked way up here, up the old Silvercup Trail, and today we found out how to get up here with a quad. So we just zipped up here, and we're just going to have just a beautiful day up here. We have the drone, we'll find some mines, and we'll just share some of this just stunning scenery with you guys. Hey everyone, just another awesome day today. Beautiful, about the 5th of September, 6th of September, and we're above Trout Lake, way up in the high alpine. We hiked all day yesterday up the Silvercup Trail to find this place, so now we figured out how to get up here. We're up here, and we're just going to have a really cool day, and we'll take the drone and we'll show you some footage. We're seeing this big, huge boulder field, and we must be getting close to some mines here because, you know, this is quartz here and it looks like silver to me too. So I'm thinking we're getting close to some mines. Certainly the type of material we'll be looking for to find some mine areas. Now we're seeing some pretty decent sized quartz boulders here right by this lake here. Nice looking lake. I don't think there's any fish in it though. It's too small, I think. We're on this ridge here and just enjoying the lunch here and the views. And we see some mines. So just flown the drone up there and determined that indeed these are pretty good sized mines. Actually, there's a whole bunch of stuff there at the one. Which one is it now? One with a stripe on it. This one. So you can see that brown stripe going down the middle of it. And that's as far as we can zoom in. It's pretty shaky, but well, we're going to hike down there, so we're going to find a way down there. It's a fair hike, but we're probably going to go along this on the other side and go along the ridge and just go straight across. It's actually only about 1 kilometer cross country from where I parked the machine to where we can get to the mine, but it's got all these little gullies to navigate across, so a bit of a challenge. But we've been able to do it so far, and I think we're over halfway there. Well, the closest that it's in sight, just a little ways. We got all the we got some real steep stuff we had to climb down, but so all the hard work's done. Now we just have to zip across there, get to that adit. So that looks like a pretty big pile of waste rock here, and well, the junk's not too spectacular, but just a couple transformer switch boxes and stuff here. Bunch of junk. Yeah, there's a pretty big pile of waste rock here, so looks like it was a pretty extensive mine. And we think we're not seeing much for buildings or anything, some wood stuff there. It looks like we have an adit here, so let's have a look and see if it indeed looks like they tried to cover it in or sloughed in a bit, but I would think it's probably still open. Oh, it looks pretty dry now. You can see there was a water running out of here, but dried up by the looks of it. Oh yeah, sure. There we go. Oh, lots of cold air, so it all looks good. I'm going to call this the Silvercup Ridge mine. We've got lots of cold air here. We've got like 3 charged up flashlights, so they're nice and cool in here. It's hot day outside. So this looks like it was pretty flooded, but ice plug or whatever was holding water back. Looks like it probably let go. Okay, well, we should think about where we're going to put this monitor. We've got a 3-way branch here, that's kind of cool. So where would be a good place to put it? Not very far to the adit, or to the portal. Going both ways here. This, there's lots of quartz in all these ridges. There's huge amounts of quartz in here, so you'd think there'd be gold here, but this looks more like lead and silver to me. Yeah, there's a bit of silver in there, I think. So this is the new light that we're trying out, the TR30, I guess. So if you interested in buying one, you can get 20% off. This seems to work pretty good. Like it gives lots of light. It's great for filming. I don't have any complaints about it. The controls are a little different than the one I'm used to. That's all right. Does a nice job for sure. Lights up the scope especially for filming. The more light you have, the more frames per second the camera will film, and it'll be a sharper picture. See what happens when there's not much light, the camera just slows the frames per second down, which makes it blurry. So that's why we want to have lots of light underground. Oh yeah, we're just feeling a huge amount of air screaming in here, so we must have a shaft going up here somewhere. It's got to be a big mine because there's a huge amount of waste rock outside, and it all came from in here. So look at how that flakes. Pretty interesting, eh? Kind of slaty stuff. Seems to be pretty solid so far. A little crummy stuff in there. Don't get too excited about it. It's all about the same. It hasn't changed much. Well, I'm sure glad I got here after it rained. It wouldn't have been too much fun wading through here, even though we do that all the time. Okay. Yeah, get more air. I can really feel the air in here now. Seems to be pretty flat, mine. We're not seeing much of a... Oh, it's starting to dry up now. Yeah, just saying, it didn't seem like it was much of an incline anywhere. Yeah, this is especially where all the air is coming out, because I can really feel it in here. Oh, there's an ore chute. Yeah. Huh. What is that? I'm not sure. That was part of a, maybe a winch. Oh, that was an ore cart. That's the bottom frame of an old wooden ore cart. There we go. And lots of air blowing. Plugged up there, but the air is still coming out of there. Might have been that section that we saw earlier. That one's plugged. And I don't think we're going to get... Oh, there's a decline going down. Interesting. Go down too far, but get my other... This is all rotten and caved here. Looks like it's plugged down there. Oh, it goes up to higher sections, but it's not really caved in here. It's got a pretty old mine. Look how rotted the timbers are. Oh, there's an ore cart there. See him? See. A little rusted, but he's there. So as it turned out, this wasn't really all that extensive. So there's the adit, the main haul adit. So the first branch to the left, it's just kind of crumbling. It just goes in a short little ways and it ends. And then also the next branch, straight, it also ends just a little ways up there. So the main haul level is the one to the right that we went to the end where the ore chute was, and it was going up and down. So there's a lot of air coming through here. So I'm thinking this probably be a good place to put this bat monitor. We'll face it up here, this way where all the air is coming from, and you know, any bats that are coming down here, they got an echolocating here, and I think that'll work. Alright, so there we have it. We have our bat monitor set up. We got a new kind of moisture meter for it too, so they're trying these ones out. So this is more of a long range one, so it's pointed out this way because there's a corner here. If you look, so the bats are flying along here. They need to make this corner, so they're going to echolocate here to keep them running into the bat monitor. I should be able to catch them if there's any bats in here. We'll see next year when we come back to get it. Hell, there's another hole here as well, and this one's also plugged off. So, well, looks like there's a little skinny hole down in there, but it ain't going down there. Too skinny for me. We'll keep going up, see what else we can find. Yeah, well, here's one that goes down, but can't go down that one. We don't have any ropes with us, so looks interesting, but it probably connects on, for sure. It connects up to those other, to that other level. Might be plugged too, it's hard to say. Pretty soft ground though. Hazardous going in there. See, look at that overhead rock, how loose it is. Pretty dangerous going down into there. Anything could fall on you. Oh, this is kind of a surprise, pleasant surprise that we found on the way back. It's a mine shack. It's not really close to the mine we were at, so maybe there's some other mines here. There's what's left of the old wood stove. Few bowls. Parts of a stove. And a little bit more junk further down too. Yeah, that's probably from the mine we were at. Yeah, a little bit of country that's a little steep to cross to get back to the side-by-side. I don't have any problem with this kind of stuff. So, well, I sure wished it wasn't so damn smoky. Be able to take some awesome pictures of. But the quad is right about there somewhere. But I don't want to go straight across. I'm better up to stick to the same elevation and go around. Otherwise, I got some real steep canyons I got to cross. So, yeah, the shortest way isn't always in a straight line. It's actually the kind of steep slope I came down. But I don't have too much trouble on this shit. A little steep. Nothing to get too excited about. So here's just another shot of these crystals. And just amazing though. So those ones are still in the quartz. And you know, there's just a whole bunch of other ones that we can kind of see in there. Just all different sizes and shapes, colors. And there's a big plate full of them there. So I've never seen that many crystals in one place, so pretty amazing find.